Welcome back, everybody. What a day it is. Trump is in Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum. Sure. And I got to just warn you, everything today is coming up Davos. So we're going to do wall-to-wall coverage of this, hopefully on the bonus show. Click the join button below. And tomorrow's show, we'll get into some other topics. But so much happened already. And let's just start with this, right? The headline story: Maria Bartiromo looking fire.
Welcome back. President Trump rolling out his great healthcare plan last week, calling on...
And no, you didn't click on yesterday's show where I started the show the same way. She has a new outfit. And I don't respect much about Maria Bartiromo, but the fit is on fire. Now, to the actual headline story. Trump gets up there obsessed at this event, getting called out at this meeting, organization, summit, forum, by world leaders across the board about how insane it is that he's talking about military aggression against a NATO ally, Denmark, in relation to Greenland. And somehow Norway and the Nobel Prize Committee not giving him the Peace Prize relates to him not wanting peace with Greenland or something. And he's been called out. He's gotten a lot of backlash. Later in the show, I'm going to show you him actually kind of backing down after all the backlash. But think about how much he's talked about Greenland lately. He wants to take it over by any means necessary. The ice in Greenland is going to be his. And he somehow forgets what Greenland is called. Given how much he's saying Greenland, that's like him forgetting his own name. He's been using Greenland so much with how much he's obsessed over it. Look at this.
No, we'd be there for them. I don't know that they'd be there for us. So with all of the money we expend, with all of the blood, sweat, and tears, I don't know that they'd be there for us. They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money. But that dip is peanuts compared to what it's gone up. And we have an unbelievable future in that stock. That stock market is going to be doubled. We're going to hit 50,000, and that stock market's going to double in a relatively short period of time because of everything that's happening.
So we already have 3 mentions. That's more than a gaffe. That is a temporary brain shutdown.
A brain.
And you might be thinking, all right, 3 times in one ramble, he said Iceland instead of Greenland, which again, this is not him. It's not even him, as I'll show you again, calling Azerbaijan or something like that. It's not him confusing conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia for conflict between Azerbaijan and Albania. This is nothing that you could call obscure. It's his fixation, and he calls it Iceland. Now, I hate this for the YouTube segment viewers watching in video form, but for our main show viewers, our next segment, so if you are watching an individual video on YouTube, make sure you find this one, will be about Levitt trying to deny this and going, no, he just means there's a lot of ice in Greenland. That's why he's calling it Iceland. But that wasn't the only time. Later, he does it again. While you watch this, make sure you have subscribed to this channel if you appreciate what we do. I appreciate you greatly for that. It makes a big difference. It's completely free. Literally, all you have to do is tap with your finger or with a mouse on the subscribe button. Makes a big difference.
I'm helping Europe. I'm helping NATO. And I've until the last few days, when I told them about Iceland, they loved me. They called me daddy, right? Last time. A very smart man said, he's our daddy.
You're my daddy.
He's running it. I was like running it. I went from running it to being a terrible human being. But now what I'm asking for is a piece of ice, cold and poorly located, that can play a vital role in world peace and world protection. It's a very small ask compared to what we have given them for many, many decades.
Folks, we've been in a war in Albania for a long time. We're withdrawing from Albania. Good people in Albania. I talked to a guy. Something with a funny name. He said, I love my home Albania. We've been at war for 2 decades. If Biden did that, wall-to-wall news. Instead of Afghanistan, Trump, Greenland. That's like the thing right now. And he calls it Iceland. And we got way more coverage. Surely, certainly, over this.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President.
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better.
Hey, that's brutal. That's brutal. But that's an immediate correction, right? Where was Trump's immediate correction? He said Iceland 4 times instead of Greenland. Big difference, too. Iceland's like us? And then at a different speech, Trump said this.
We had a good speech. We got great reviews. I can't believe it. We got good reviews.
From who? Where? On Yelp? I checked Yelp. 5 out of 5 stars for my speech.
Good speech. We got great reviews. I can't believe it. We got good reviews in that speech. Usually they say he's a horrible dictator type person. I'm a dictator. But sometimes you need a dictator. But they didn't say that in this case. And no, it's common sense.
Sometimes you need a dictator, he says, as he's talking about criticisms of him being too dictatorial minded. He specifies sometimes you do need a dictator. But we are supposedly provoking violence when we say he wants to be a dictator. Then I did reference this.
And I've now been working on this war for 1 year, during which time I settled 8 other wars. India, Pakistan. I settled other wars that were Vladimir Putin called me, Armenia, Azerbaijan.
And his body always moves whenever it's so weird whenever he messes up on something. It's like there's something I've said before. There's a little small Donald. Picture a little small Donald inside, like in the movie Inside Out, controlling the control panel. And the little small Donald, when it realizes it's getting something wrong, jerks the throttle or whatever, the little joystick, and Trump moves. Watch.
Azerbaijan.
Boom.
Azerbaijan. He said, I can't believe you said.
So, of course, Azerbaijan is not the word he's looking for. And Midas Touch specified he just kind of looks and sounds terrible at this event.
All caused by this horrible president, just horrible president. I'm asking Congress to cap credit card interest rates at 10% for 1 year.
Right here. Ready?
Horrible president, just horrible president.
Oh, sorry. I had a hookup. I had a gallon of whole milk right before this. It's bubbling up. Then you have him saying this in front of the world.
Thousands of miles away, separated by a giant ocean. It's a war that should have never started, and it wouldn't have started if the 2020 U.S. presidential election weren't rigged. It was a rigged election. Everybody now knows that. They found out. People will soon be prosecuted for what they did. It's probably breaking news, but it should be. It was a rigged election. You can't have rigged elections. You need strong borders, strong elections.
I am so, as I'm watching this, again, there's something about, let me think how to word this. Picture, and I don't have this, so I'm not speaking in terms that are relevant to me, but picture you have that archetypical crazy uncle who says a certain word and you're like, oh no, we don't use that word anymore. We say neurodivergent or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, we don't say black people, right? You're like, uncle, chill a little bit for a second. Or others, I could use examples, but I won't. We're getting into, or no, here's another one. He uses a word that sounds like bag to say, Luke, are you still a bag? And I'm like, no, you say gay. So imagine that person. And when you're inside the home, you're like, oh, it's so horrible. It's so annoying. But I'm a little bit used to it, right? And sometimes you don't even correct. Sometimes you're not even shocked when he goes, this thing was probably made by a Mexican, and you're like, Uncle, somehow that doesn't even surprise me that you said that, but it's just not appropriate. And then you're really shocked when you go out in public with Uncle and he's saying those things, and then you have this extra layer of emotional reaction because you're realizing what not just you've perceived for so long, but what the people out in public and the rest of the world are perceiving you as. And that's the thing here. We're in our little home of America, and I'm like, yeah, this is just our life. Trump's doing these things, false election claims, saying we'll arrest Obama for stealing the election, whatever. And I'm numb to it. It's not that I don't oppose it, speak out against it, but I am a little numb to it, and sometimes I don't even mention it. But then whenever he goes out into the World Economic Forum, all the world leaders, and he's saying this, it adds this extra layer of shock on my part, realizing, oh no, the world's seeing this as our spokesperson for America, or whatever this was.
We're bringing back battleships. The battleship is 100 times more powerful than the great battleships you saw in World War II, those great, big, gorgeous ships, the Missouri, the Iowa, the Alabama. Because I thought maybe we could take them out of mothballs. They said, no, sir, these ships are 100, think of that, 100 times more powerful than those big.
Sorry, I can't stop thinking about neurodivergent. No, Uncle. We say neurodivergent. Neuro the is what I'm picturing. Oh, gosh, that's funny. Woo! Everything's just changing. They're always changing the words. My day, yeah.
Big, magnificent pieces of art that you saw so many times ago that you still see on television. You say, wow, what a force. 100 times, each ship 100 times more powerful than the big battleships of the past. So that was the end of the mothball story.
Cool. I missed when it started and what it was about. I don't need to show you. He ranted about windmills. So embarrassing. He said stuff like this.
To just by its very nature, going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements. What we did.
What are you going on about? A boat. Oh, dang it, I messed it up. You loony balloony. That's kind of weird. Remember that next time you make your statements, Mark. There was one little fun moment. Howard Lutnick, who we know a little bit too well, not personally, but just from all of his appearances, and I'm a little sick of hearing from him, to be honest, was at an event, and Al Gore, you remember Al Gore? Blast from the past. He was in the crowd and was heckling Howard Lutnick. Iconic. And apparently there was some significant heckling going on.